is up. We've been through the fire, and now it's time to wake up. We're about to go higher. From Hebrews to Negroes, from Hebrews to Negroes, from Hebrews to Negroes, from Hebrews to Negroes. It's been a long time coming, but we here now. Yeah. Scattered all around the world, hidden in the midst of the nation. We was taken from far away, across the Atlantic, the slave trade. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They came in disguise with their Lord. Their intentions were evil for sure. What kind of people that would do such a thing like this? Yeah. Stacking humans on top of each other, ripping children from their mothers, and making example of their fathers. Oh, honey, is this up? We've been through the fire, and now it's time to wake up. We're about to go higher. From Hebrews to Negroes, from Hebrews to Negroes, from Hebrews to Negroes, from Hebrews to Negroes. Sometimes it hurts so bad, the situation of my people, it's sad. They move around like the walking dead, no assurance of their life cause they live with fear. Who are them cursed people? They always at the bottom, those people. Head shaking at those people. Every nation hates those people. We here now, stand, my people. We coming into our heritage. You better wake up, this ain't no fairy tale. Our Elohim, he's here. He's restoring our stolen identities. And you know what this really, really means. We up next. Oh, honey, is this up? It's up. We've been through the fire, the fire. Now it's time to wake up, wake up. We're about to go higher, go higher. From Hebrews to Negroes, to Negroes, Hebrews to Negroes, from Hebrews to Negroes, yeah, Hebrews to Negroes.
All right, family. I'm gonna try to move. I'm gonna try to keep it moving. I'm using my phone. So hey, I want y'all to let me know if have y'all seen these, right? Have y'all seen these suspects? I got some suspects. I want y'all to know, can y'all spot them out when you see them? Some of you may have trouble recognizing them because they got masks on. But allow me to do some unmasking for you. Let me start to help you to see behind the mask. All right?
Just to show you what they were doing, just from 1500 to 1660, as an example, they shipped 5 million black folk out of Africa just to Central America down here to dig for gold and silver. And in 150 years, black folk with tools and sticks and stones, they dug out over 16,000 tons of silver and over 4,000 tons of gold. All that went back to Europe. Black folk at that point in time were producing almost 99% of all the sugar on earth, cotton, tobacco, anything else. They were building all the houses. They were the caulkers, builders. So what they did then, they started advertising in Europe. So anybody who wants to get wealth, they go to America. You go to America, we guarantee you. We give you free land and free labor. And you would have to be an idiot to come to America. We give you free land and free labor and not get rich. So they began, and by 1710, somebody said, well, how are we going to control all these blacks? So the state of Virginia passed a law called meritorious manumission. Meritorious manumission then says that we will control blacks by building in an internal attitude inside of them to make them see things through our eyes, to make them white in everything but skin color. And what the meritorious manumission was passed by the state of Virginia in 1710 then said we will reward any black who gets very good at this. And so if any black person,
I want y'all to think they got a track record of rewarding sellouts. They got a track record of rewarding sellouts. Okay, it goes back to the 1700s.
will reward any black who gets very good at this. And so if any black person saves a white person's life, protects a white person's property, invents something that a white person
Now
can
think
make
about
money
this
off.
one. Now I'm not gonna too much worry about saving somebody's life, but if they're an enemy, I'm gonna probably let them die. That's what it is. I'm probably gonna let them die. The reason why I said probably the Most High might, he know how to get in, he know how to calm it down. But I'm probably gonna let them die. I'm not gonna go at them directly unless they coming at me. But if I'm watching a doggone Klansman out there getting killed, I'm probably just gonna watch them die and keep on stepping. But anyway, dying for master's property. Think about this one. How many of our black veterans from the Revolutionary War all the way up to now have died for somebody else's property? You see, when my mind go to work and it goes wide like an explosion. But listen,
Protect a white person's property, invent something that a person saves a white person's life, protect a white person's property, invent something that a white person can make money off of, or if he squeals on in the slave revolts, he would get freedom. Okay? And so I tracked from 1710 all the way up to 1860s. And out of over 200 some possible slave revolts, a black person squealed in every one of them. And so
you heard that? You heard that? All those revolts, they had some Judases. So yeah, y'all might ought to, just keep your eyes open. But yeah, let me show you something else. What he's talking about, you can look. I'm probably gonna make this kind of short, but you can do your own thing. See this? Just look this up. Meritorious manumission. It's an incentive. It's an incentive for sellouts. That's what it is. Okay. It's an incentive to sell us out. Can you imagine if Moses was a doggone sellout? Moses. But yeah, y'all can read that. Let me see. Meritorious manumission black leaders. Okay. Where is the Congressional Black Caucus at? Since they are Democrat slaves, might well say, where they at telling Biden when you gonna do something for my people? What are the Congressional Black Caucus at? Cutting up about all this stuff that they giving to everybody else but us. See, where is the Congressional Black Caucus at? What they do is they tell you what they're not gonna do. That's how you know somebody else put them folks there. All right. are those black leaders who sell us out. He can even be your pastor. Your preacher ain't preaching the real Bible or who you are, then evidently the Most High can't be talking to him. Or he's slow of hearing. Either one of the two. Either that preacher slow of hearing or the Most High ain't talking to him. If they don't know, if they can't look in that Bible and see who been scattered worldwide for centuries. The only people on the planet that's been scattered worldwide, like Luke chapter 21, verse 24 says, you're going to be killed off and scattered worldwide simultaneously. The only group of people. But yet these so-called college-taught, false prophet, beast religion, educated, pimping preachers can't pick up what I'm putting down. But nevertheless, it ain't about them today. Let's get on to, well, they sellouts, so it's about them. But all right, let's go. They're known as sycophants. In Virginia, during the enslavement period, there was a law passed entitled, y'all look this up, Meritorious Manumission Act of 1710. Remember, the Revolutionary War was what? 1776, 1777? So they started early getting the coon class cultivated. It was a legal act of freeing an enslaved African for good deeds. Okay. All right. That ain't good deeds, y'all. Anyway, as defined by the National Public Prophets, could be granted to any enslaved African who saved the life of a white racist, colonial enslaver, or his property. Invented. That's basically what the brother said in the video, Dr. Claude Anderson. Okay. Now let me move on. Let me see, y'all. Let me move on. But yeah, that's basically what Dr. Claude Anderson said in this video right here. Right here. See. All right, let me keep moving. Now, I'm probably going to have to come out of this and go back, because when I share videos, I had to go back and re-represent, or it won't play. All right, here we go another.
Some people that were talking about reparations in this country. They wanted reparations. And I remember I made this particular liberal so angry at me.
Now, before I let this treasonous man go to talking, I don't see another group of people speaking against the interests of their people. I don't see white folks getting up on the television speaking against the interests of white people. I don't see Hispanics speaking against the interests in mass. I know some of them mad because they had to go the long route, and some go, but I don't see them like I see black folk. I don't see Ukrainians talking about they don't need no money in a system that you cannot live without money. I don't see no other group of people speaking against their own people's interests in a system that you need money to survive. But when it's us, long as they got their biscuits and they 30 pieces of biscuits, they'll sell the rest of us out.
And I remember I made this particular liberal so angry at me because I told them right to their face, nobody owes you anything for slavery. If you want to tell the truth about it.
Okay. I mean, he can believe whatever he want to believe, but that's anti-biblical. I don't care. You so-called church folks out there, it's anti-biblical. And another thing, we the only people that's paralleling the people in the Bible. The only people. We the only people with the genetics to survive captivities. White people cannot survive captivities, being brutal, being raped and stuff. They can't even work out in the sun. We the only people that the Most High built for this. But we, being stubborn and rejecting the truth and not being a light, he said he was going to send the worst people to rule over us. That's what the Bible say. He said he was going to send the worst. All right? But let me keep going. Let me go back. I'm gonna try to let him talk.
Talking about reparations in this country. They wanted reparations. And I remember I made this particular liberal so angry at me because I told them right to their face, Nobody owes you anything for slavery. If you want to tell the truth about it, it is you who owes. It's you who owes.
Now, according to that logic, if a woman gets sexually assaulted, she owed a rapist then, according to that logic. If someone gets murdered, then let's just say somebody got murdered. Let's just say the father got murdered in the house. So according to that logic, his descendants owe the murderer. According to that logic. I just gave you the microcosm of it, but he's trying to apply it on a macro level, on a microcosm scale. But according to that logic.
Why do you owe? Because somebody in those fields took stripes for you.
They shouldn't have to take those stripes in the first place. But anyway.
Somebody, after those fields were ended and slavery was ended, somebody had to walk through Jim Crow for.
Why? Hey, what's his name? I can't even think of this man's name. Okay, let me see. Hold on. Oh, Mark Robinson. Why did somebody had to take the whip, and why did somebody have to go through Jim Crow? Why? Why is that?
For you. Somebody fought wars and died for you.
Now he's saying, but look, and I just saw this in the logic. He's saying we owe our ancestors and we owe America for something some racist Europeans done. That's what this babbling raccoon is talking about.
Nobody owes you anything for slavery. If you want to tell the truth about it, it is you who owes. It's you who owes. Why do you owe? Because somebody in those fields took stripes for you. Somebody, after those fields were ended and slavery was ended, somebody had to walk through Jim Crow for you. Somebody fought wars and died for you. Somebody lived less than because they didn't have what you have, and they did it for you.
I just wonder, y'all. I just wonder.
There are people in their graves right now, and they are there because they were willing to stand up and fight for you.
They in their grave because of white supremacy. They took them lashes of their whip because of white supremacy. They went through Jim Crow because of white supremacy. And y'all, and they go to school and they teach white supremacy in the Bible cemetery school. That's what it is.
Those folks on the Edmund Pettus Bridge carrying American flags, take that, Colin Kaepernick.
Okay. How many of our brothers was lynched in their military uniform? Huh? How many of our brothers is homeless now after they get through fighting in Massa's war? Huh? He's not gonna tell that what, you know, he's busy, he's sold out, he got the tap shoes on, and he's doing what he do.
Living in a society that he could scarcely acknowledge, something that he has never known, living with a bigotry that none of us can imagine. Carried American flags on that bridge, and when they kept marching, and they did it for you. Nobody owes you anything. If anybody owes, it's you, because you've been the benefactor of freedom. You are the one that owes. And what do you owe? You owe it to them to get up off your tail and get to school. And when you get to school, you owe it to them to get up off your tail at school.
Now, he wants us to go to the school, hold on, where there's a school to prison pipeline to take our the funnel our children into their prison so they can make money because of white supremacy.
One that owes. And what do you owe? You owe it to them to get up off your tail and get to school.
so you could go to get funneled into that school to prison pipeline. Y'all just look at the percentages of the black students in school. Let's say they're like 20% of the students, but 70% of those getting arrested. Just look into that stuff. But he want us to go to school. That's good for white folk, racist white folk. Let me clarify. That's good for racist white folks that make their monies off the stocks. And notice they're called stocks and bonds, like chains and iron. Stocks and bonds.
When you get to school, you owe to them to get up off your tail at school and get to work and get some learning in your head. And once you get that schooling in your head and get out of that school, you owe it to them to get to work. And then when you get to work and you get married, you owe it to them to take care of your children and not let the government take care of your children.
Okay, what about these migrants that's getting free stuff? What about them Europeans that they imported over here right after slavery, gave them free land that they didn't work for? Now, let me be clear. Yeah, we got to work. The Bible says you don't work, a man shouldn't eat. That's right. But we don't need that. We need to avoid or debrief our children from these school systems. That is biblical. The Bible said, come out from among them. That means we got to teach our own. Okay? But I know we are in a tough predicament. But you at least got to double back and see what they're teaching or doing to our children. At least do that.
It's you who owe. Nobody owes you a single solitary thing. The sacrifice and blood that has been laid out in this nation on your behalf, there is a bill at your feet for it. It's time you got up off your tail and went and go pay it.
I was listening to somebody. I was driving, somebody do this video, and I couldn't really say nothing because I was driving. But doggone it, I can say something now. I can say something now. Hold on, let me see what I got here. I can say something now. I got this up here twice. All right. But look, here y'all go right here, y'all. Black soldiers lynched in military uniform. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just go on and fight and protect Master's stuff. And Master got a plan for you. Don't y'all forget. Don't forget the Devil's Punch Bowl. Don't forget the Devil's Punch Bowl now. Never forget. Notice how they tell us to forget what they done to us. But they tell their own never forget. Hold on, y'all. Let me do this while I'm thinking about it before I forget. Hold on. Never forget.
Back during slavery, when black people like me talked to the slaves, they didn't kill him. They'd send some old house Negro along behind him to undo what he said. You have to read the history of slavery to understand this. There were two kinds of Negroes. There was that old house Negro and the field Negro. And the house Negro always looked out for his master. When the field Negroes got too much out of line, he held them back in check. He put them back on the plantation. The house Negro could afford to do that because he lived better than the field Negro. He ate better, he dressed better, and he lived in a better house. He lived right up next to his master in the attic or the basement. He ate the same food his master ate and wore his same clothes. And he could talk just like his master, good diction. And he loved his master more than his master loved himself. That's why he didn't want his master hurt. If the master got sick, he'd say, "What's the matter, boss? We sick?" When the master's house caught a fire, he'd try and put the fire out. He didn't want his master's house burned. He never wanted his master's property threatened. And he was more defensive of it than the master was. That was the house Negro. But then you had some field Negroes who lived in huts, had nothing to lose. They wore the worst kind of clothes, they ate the worst food, and they caught hell. They felt the sting of the lash. They hated their master. Oh yes, they did. If the master got sick, they prayed that the master died. If the master's house caught a fire, they prayed for a strong wind to come along. This was the difference between the two. And today you still have house Negroes and field Negroes. I'm a field Negro.
All right, family. I hope y'all can start to recognize these suspects when you see them. You have to listen at them. I know it's gonna be hard to recognize them with their mask on, but if you look at the fruit, if you look at what they're producing, you'll be able to spot these suspects when you see them. Here they go right here. All right. Long as they eating, they good. They ain't worried about it. They ain't worried about everybody else. See. But yeah, y'all watch out. Y'all learn to spot them. Y'all learn to spot them old mass bandits. Just learn to recognize them. Hold on. Let me see here. Now here's one. Here's one raccoon talking about another raccoon.
U.S. Special Correspondent for BBC News, Katty Kay, the president of the National Action Network and host of MSNBC's Politics Nation, Reverend Al Sharpton, and opinion editor at the Washington Post.
Al Sharpton was right there. He been around since the 60s. I want y'all to pick it up now. Been around since the 60s now. Ain't nothing getting done. We still fighting the same fight. They just done adapted it and changed it up a little bit and put a little camouflage on it. It's the same thing. We was getting killed indiscriminately with the police back then. It's the same thing right now. Job discrimination back then, it's the same thing right now. Housing discrimination back then, it's the same thing right now. Poor education back, it's the same thing now.
Alexi McCammon, Jonathan Lemire back with us.
Yeah, I want y'all to focus on that now. Focus on these Negroes. Why anytime they love them, something wrong.
As well. So, Rev, I'll start with you here. What did you see last night in New Hampshire? What does it tell you about this race, but also looking ahead to the general election? What should Joe Biden be?
Now, he's mad about Tim Scott kissing Trump behind, but he's kissing Biden behind and the Democrats. So I guess they, one of them like the left side of the butt cheek. Al Sharpton like the left side of the butt cheek, and Tim Scott like the right side of the butt cheek. Me, I choose neither.
Thinking today.
Well, obviously, Trump winning by double digits was not something unexpected. I think Haley did a little better than some of the polls had, but she didn't make it. I think that the fact that she's pledged to keep running is in many ways the ultimate insult to Donald Trump, because he wants everyone to just prostrate and bow to him and say now it's over, because what he's really concerned about is his 4 cases. And I think that when you watched his speech and how he tends to now ramble and go off the rails, you really are beginning to wonder if this is more than just some of us that politically oppose him, whether there's really something that has gotten to him, because he doesn't seem to be able to be coherent for a long amount of time. But I think that he will be the nominee, and I think that he's demanding people bow to him. There are few moments in my life I've been more embarrassed than to watch Tim Scott, who, I know Tim and I are both practicing Christians.
Oh, both of them practicing Christians. Oh, everybody's a doggone Christian. Okay. So evidently Christians don't practice the Bible. I mean, the people that colonized the earth were practicing Christian. That's what they said. They say this is a Christian nation. Then Christianity believe in stealing, killing, and destroying by their fruits, by the fruit that's coming off of their family tree. So that's what Christianity is then. Now, if you live in the Bible, I'm not talking about you. Okay? But that's their term. They created that word, okay? But he said him and Tim Scott are practicing.
I know Tim and I are both practicing Christians, but I don't know if he could pray like that to the other side. I mean, it was humiliating to watch what Tim Scott did as a sitting senator. And one time it wasn't even, he wasn't even on the script. He interrupted Trump to pay homage. So I had to say that because it's bothered me all
He's
night.
doing it right here. It says, it's just that I love you, Mr. Trump. It's not that I hate Nikki Haley. It's just that I love you, from Senator Scott.
It's not a good day in my life to watch Tim do that. I mean,
Okay. All right, let me wrap this up. This is going to be a short one. Let me show y'all how awkward this is.
And then we do go to South Carolina, where we've done really well, where I've done well. We have a great governor and lieutenant governor and great everything, because almost every one of them have endorsed me. 2 great senators, which is hard. I mean, did you ever think that she actually appointed you, Tim? And
so Nikki appointed him and he sold her out. See, one thing these white supremacists know, if you sell us out, they can't trust you. He said something without saying anything. See.
And think of it, appointed, and you're the senator of his state, and she endorsed me. You must really hate her. No, it's a shame. It's a shame. Uh-oh.
I just love you.
No, that's why he's a great politician. That's why he's a great politician.
Okay. All right, now let's get to okra and kale. I'm gonna make sure the audio plays, so I'm gonna come out of it and go back in it. Let's get to okra and kale. Hey, before I do that, now y'all remember how okra and kale, kale, they vegetables, okra and kale. Their mind is just as effective as, when they say somebody's mind is that of a vegetable, their mind ain't right, y'all. Their mind is in a vegetative state. But remember what Gayle King did to, R. Kelly and whatever. And, the problem I got is, why he ain't going after these white guys? It's more of them. You got Spacey, Elvis Presley. Yeah. What's her name? Jerry Lee Lewis. I've covered this. It's been a couple years ago. All these famous white guys molesting and sexually assaulting these young girls and stuff. You even got the Catholic priest. Where is okra and kale at going after them? What I'm saying is, get everybody. Get everybody. Be an equal opportunity destroyer. Not just help them try to pin the doggone rapist label on black folks when we know who holds the world rapist title hands down. It's them. Hands down, the world title rapist worldwide is them. But since they got the media, the printing press, they run the education system, they all in high levels of government, everybody think the one you should be really worried about is black folk. Now, I'm not saying we ain't got no criminal element out here. That's not what I'm talking about. But how is they getting a pass? That's what I'm saying. All right, now here we go.
Let's talk about what's happening with Harvey Weinstein. I know you posted on Facebook already, but you haven't kind of spoken yet publicly about what's going on.
And another thing, she helped fund that Michael Jackson Finding Neverland or whatever. No facts. The feds went after Michael. Michael went to court. The feds. They couldn't find him guilty. The feds couldn't find him guilty, y'all. Do y'all know how many charges they had on Michael Jackson? And they couldn't find him guilty on not one charge? What does that tell you? Huh? Let me see. Let me Google it quick. I think it was 20 charges. Let me see how many was it. Let me see how many charges was he charged under. He was charged on, I think it was about 20 charges. But they couldn't find him guilty. But yeah, I'm not gonna go into it. I'm gonna try to condense these videos down. I think if my mind served me correctly, he had like 20-some charges, and they couldn't find him guilty on not one. Do y'all know how hard that is? When the feds come, they usually got that thing nailed down.
I think that this is, I'm always trying to look for the rainbow in the cloud, whatever is the silver lining. And this is what I do know for sure. When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment. And what I do believe is actually happening is that, first of all, it's triggering a lot of unreleased pain, repressed anger, guilt, and suffering that a lot of women have had. I happened to be on set with several actresses the other day, and we were filming some things, and they were...
Now look, she's really, this is Okra. This is Okra and Kaya right here with the rapist. But they act like they don't know nothing about what's going on. Here you go. That's Kaya, and there go Okra with the rapist. They don't know what's going on now. They dumb. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, where y'all think they got their money from? Huh? Who y'all think put them in the spots that they in? Remember, Dr. Claude Anderson said they would reward those that was good at deceiving black folk. That's what he said. All right, but anyway, I just want y'all to see that. Okay. Now, I'm finna bring this to a close. I'm gonna play Dr. Claude one more time. And I'm gonna get up out of here.
Just in between, show you what they were doing, just from 1500 to 1660 as an example. They shipped 5 million black folk out of Africa just to Central America down here to dig for gold and silver. And in 150 years, black folk with tools and sticks and stones, they dug out over 16,000 tons of silver and over 4,000 tons of gold. All that went back to Europe. Black folk at that point in time were producing almost 99% of all the sugar on earth, cotton, tobacco, anything else. They were building all the houses. They were the caulkers, builders. So what they did then, they started advertising in Europe.
Let them tell it. We didn't know how to build nothing. They didn't just get your average people. They got people that knew how to work. They didn't have to train. They didn't have to train the Israelites how to grow food because we've been growing our own food. They didn't have to train them. They didn't have to train them to build because we've been building. That's what we was doing. See, but they're not gonna tell you that.
Then they started advertising in Europe. So anybody wants to get wealth, they go to America. You go to America, we guarantee you. We give you free land and free labor. And you would have to be an idiot to come to America. If we give you free land and free labor, you might get rich.
What they doing with the migrants now? They're getting free stuff. They're getting free stuff. Okay? See, that you know, this is a last hurrah for them to try to hold on to power. They might as well give it up. They ain't stopped that Bible this far, they ain't gonna stop it.
So they began, and by 1710, somebody said, well, how are we gonna control all these blacks? So the state of Virginia passed a law called meritorious manumission. Meritorious manumission then says that we will control blacks by building in an internal attitude inside of them to make them see things through our eyes, to make them white in everything but skin color. And what the American...
That's why it's dangerous to have them constantly, they having the majority of the time in with our minds. Think about it. Okay, let's start as a child. You know, they through nepotism and racism, you know, your child gonna be in constant contact with them. Okay, you got a white doctor, let's just say not all the time, but most of the time. How is that but anyway, the minority on earth, you got a white doctor, okay. You got a white school teacher. You go to church, you got white Jesus, white supremacist coming out the Bible, out the pulpit. You turn the television on, you're getting the thoughts of white producers. You're getting the thoughts of white minds. That's what you're getting when you turn the television on, for the most part. Why? Because they own that stuff. Okay? That's why they kick up saying about black people playing in traditional white roles. It seems crazy to you, but they know. They know. They see black people in traditional white roles. They know what that does to a white mind that they want to keep racist. They don't want them to have, they don't want their children to have sympathy for us. They don't want their children to see us in the light that the Most High created us in. We are his firstborn. They don't want their children to know the truth.
Towards manumission was passed by the state of Virginia in 1710 then, said we will reward any black who gets very good at this. And so if any black person saves a white person's life, protects a white person's property, invents something that a white person can make money off of, or if he squeals on in the slave revolts, he would get freedom. Okay? And so I tracked from 1710, all the way up to 1860s. And out of over 200 some possible slave revolts, a black person squealed in every one of them.
You hear that? Just beware of the coon class. All right? Just beware of the coon class. All right, family. Any questions? If not, just keep you know. All I can tell you, just stay prayed up and just ain't no need to worry about this stuff. The Most High got us. We gonna be all right. We survived this far. They can't destroy us. That's why it's imperative that we obey the word. We live the word. We walk by faith and not by sight. Okay, we should have been gone a long time ago. We should have been dead. We shouldn't even be here. Now, you think they ain't trying to genocide us? Huh? But if the Most High let us be destroyed, then his word come back as void. Okay? So, my words to you is rise above it. Shalom.
What's going on, y'all? Hadassah Queeno. We got to rise above the negativity. Psalm 94:19 is what we standing on right now when I'm filled with cares. Your assurance soothes my soul. Yeah, I got me. And I got some of my friends on this track. Listen, fade back is a bit. Remember what you did? To the children of this. Now it's all coming back on you, but we hit. We ain't falling for the fake news, baby. We choose to trust in the one who's a shelter, food, and guns. We ain't taking no chip in our hand. And we ain't taking no vaccination. Rise above the negativity so you can stand.
Rise above all the negativity. Rise because we sitting in the heavenly, right next to the King of Kings. There's about to be a momentum swing. Rise above all the negativity. Rise because we're sitting in the heavenly, right next to the King of Kings. There's about to be a momentum swing.
There's about to be a momentum swing for the nation of Yahshua. For the nation of Yahshua. Yes, a momentum swing. And I tell you that Yahudah will one again reclaim the throne. Yahudah will one again beat the praises of old. And I brought my friend Mo. Break it down one time.
Yahudah, Hudah,
got the keys to the kingdom. Yehuda and the 12 tribes and by Redeemer. Yes, sir, the been declared time to hold. The sea raining over the nations. Here we go. That's right, Yehuda want it all back. King coming with the big payback. Spoiled out his mouth for his enemies attack. Busting out the clouds. And with the kings, with the queens, he redeemed. I redeemed, we esteem and believe. Yah Elohim. They brain would disappear like a vapor. Did you really think you can overcome my creator? Yes, sir, he said to do a new thing. Manifest the sons and daughters of the king. Have the earth even seen such a thing? It's about to be a momentum swing.
Rise above all the negativity, rise because we're heading in the heavenly. Right next to the King of Kings, there's about to be a momentum swing. Rise above all the negativity, rise because we're heading in the heavenly. Right next to the King of Kings, there's about to be a momentum swing.
Oh, foolish nation! Did you think Abba Yahuwah would forget his own? Do you think he would forget his own and break his promises? Oh no, this time I have my friend Mainframe. Break it down one time.
Rise up, you we raising the grain, it's full face. Whole place, cause they raising the cane, it's plain. I'm able with the plenteous rain, the splendorous rain, except that you think it's a game, a game. My Aki, my Echo, my Mishpat, we blow oats. So far, they multiplying like God folks. Theo go to better, yo, they got coats. But that was a different world we living in. Bitter the waters leading the bitter man. But in the battle, thinking what could have been. Shoot to the slaughter, beat to the bitter end. Ready to a silver a gentleman. Y'all send the sun, call it the middleman. Teach the game, Jersey, the Meadowland. Giants was lost like the Bedouin.
Oh, I forgot about doggone Daniel Cameron. Y'all know Daniel Cameron. He threw the case of Breonna Taylor. Yeah, that's why she didn't get no justice. Yeah, Daniel Cameron. What he run for, just governor? That show you how much the Europeans liked him. They didn't vote him in. He ran for governor and lost. Yeah. I forgot all about old Daniel. See, these are not victimless crimes. These sellouts. I'm not saying do nothing. Just watch them. Know who they are. At least get an estimation. Know who's next to you. Know the history of these sellouts. This is warfare, family, and we still dying out here. And they call themselves not guilty. So yeah, y'all just research Breonna Taylor. Y'all know Daniel. He didn't even give the right instructions so the officers could be indicted. He didn't even give the right instruction to indict the police officers. That's why they didn't get indicted. Y'all just look into it. Daniel Cameron of Kentucky was the Attorney General of Kentucky. Daniel Cameron, Attorney General of Kentucky. Yeah, him. All right, family. Shalom.